Hello, 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 and welcome to my space. And welcome to the beautiful Lisa Starr Francis, who is with me today again for our Mondays with Michele. I am so excited about this. We're going to have lots of fun as we always do. We're going to be pulling cards for live participants. So if you are here and you want a reading, you want a card pull, it's your time. Now, the wonderful thing about this card pull is you don't just get one card, you get two cards, and you get a reading from me and you get a reading from Lisa. So it really is two in one. It's like the biggest bang for your buck ever. And so join us and comment, tell us who you are, where you're at, where you're joining us from. We would love to know all of it. I am going to hurry and make sure that I am sharing this on all my pages because I want to connect with you guys. That's what this is all about. So, to get started, let me just say that I want to talk about the energy of the week. Last week, I got a very, very clear. Oh, hi, Lori. Good morning. Ooh, we got a lot of people moving on in. Hi, Claire. Good morning. I would love to read a card for you. Hi, Denise from Wisconsin. Yay. And Claire from Omaha. And Lori, you got to tell us where you're from. I know, but I want you to tell us. And then, okay, we've got Claire wants a card. And Denise wants a card.
Let me get my pen.
Okay, so I want to say that last week I got really, really clear insight. I woke up on Sunday morning just knowing like the energy of this week moving forward. And I don't always get this. I gotta say that. Like sometimes I get a sense of what the energy for the week is going to be, but not all the time. So, I just go with it. If it shows up, great. If it doesn't, I just go about my week, right? But last Sunday, I really got this knowing that the energy for last week was slow. Slow down, pay attention. Don't be not like pay attention to the details where we're so uber focused on the details, but just slow down and be present. That's basically what the message was. And so Saturday, I got the knowing that we're still in that. We're still in the slow. We're still being called to the slow and to being very present. So it's a continuation this week. We're still in the slow, and that's good. This is a hard time. Okay, so, if you guys know me, you know that I am not a fan of this time change garbage at all, in any way, shape, or form. I don't like it. I don't think it's useful. I don't see why we need to have it. We've got lighting, like it was supposedly it was for like the kids going to school in the dark, but it's darker now. I don't get it in the morning, but and for the farmers. So it makes no sense to me. And we have things like headlamps and lights that we can use to light our way. So I think it just, excuse me, fucks with our natural rhythm and is can be really problematic. Okay. So um I'm not a fan. However, I want to say this. I do love the light at night. I do like last night when it was light an hour longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there's a part of me that's like, yes, I love the light. Um, but there's also a part of me that loves the dark and the staying cocooned, you know, for a longer period of the day, with the nights being, dark. So yeah, I'm a conundrum, guys. If you don't know that about me by now, you should. Welcome to it. And but I don't like messing with our rhythms and that. However, it does lend itself to wanting to jump forward into spring. And we're not there yet. We're not in spring. We're not there yet. It's not time for us to move fully into spring. And even when spring, like what usually the spring equinox is like the 20th or 21st. I'm not positive what the actual day is right now, but this year, but it's not like we land on the equinox and boom, done with winter, full spring. That's not the way that it works. There's some overlap, there's some gradual movement into the new seasons. We have some cleanup that we want to do, or we want to still be gathering our nuggets of whatever was going on in the prior season, in this case winter, and we still want to be there for a little bit, getting our sea legs, if you will, our spring sea legs. And so just be mindful of that. And I wanted to share quickly, let me say real quick, Lori, thank you for Maine and would like a card, please. Debbie Ross. Hi, Debbie. You absolutely may. Good morning, Shirley. And yes, Shirley, you may as well. Okay, so let me write those down. Lori, Debbie, and Shirley. Wonderful. Okay, I just want to share one quick thing. So I've been doing a lot of work over this winter, a lot of deep work on some very specific things, and really about grief, like a lot about grief. And not just my grief, but like ancestral lineage grief. Um, but I've been doing a lot of work with it, and I've been doing my best to be slow and patient and not rush the process, because I don't want to rush the process, right? Well, we do want to rush the process, but what happens when we rush the process, because let's be honest, a lot of stuff in the winter is painful, right? And when we're doing painful deep work, we want to go quick. We want to get through it quickly. But what happens when we want to go quick is we stay on the surface, right? And this is what I love about block therapy that has brought me so much awareness, because in block therapy, you're looking for the pain and you automatically connect to deep pain. And then, like, one day you'll work in an area and you'll find the pain here. And then the next time you work in that area, you'll go deeper and you just keep going deeper. And that's essential because, guys, we know with our bodies, the issues are in the tissues, right? The body keeps score, and it is deep. It is so deep, like deeper than we've ever thought to go. That's how I actually got um, really involved in my block therapy practice, was because I kept having this feeling that all the work that I was doing, all of the self-help and all the meditation and all the stuff I was doing for myself, there was like a floor. I could go so deep, but there was like this level that I couldn't penetrate. And I kept thinking, you know, I kept praying, like, well, come on. I'm working my ass off here. I don't want to know that there's a floor I can't access. And I kept knowing that it wasn't something I was doing wrong. It was a tool that I needed to help me go. And that's when I really, to go deeper, and that's when I really got connected to block therapy. Yes, Lori, the fascia, exactly. And to access the deepest fascia, we have to have tools. We can't, like, all these issues in the tissues, we can't meditate them away.
No.
We can't pray them away. We
No.
have to go deeper than we've ever gone. So that's what we do. We're in this work, we're doing this work, and we want to stay, we want to go quick. That keeps us on the surface. But when we go deeper than we think we've ever even gone before, that's when we get to the gold. That's when we get to the nuggets. So that's what I've been doing. I made a commitment at the beginning. Actually, it was even before winter. It was in like late fall. I want to go deeper than ever. Like, I'm ready. I'm terrified of what I might find, honestly, because at the end of the day, we don't know what we're going to find in those deep, dark corners of our wintry closet, right? I mean, right? We don't know. We don't know. And it's terrifying, but we want to be, my intention was I'm willing. I'm willing to do it. I don't know what it's going to look like, feel like, whatever, but I'm willing. And I wanted to be like all in. And to me, that means going deep, not being on that surface level, but going deep. And that's slow. because when we go slow, we're more intentional. We don't miss things. We get the insights. We get it all. It's all juicy and yummy and wonderful. So I've been doing all this work, and this weekend I realized that something we had friends over, we were playing games, we were having fun, and then my son was like, he was just in one of those moods where he's a joker and a teaser, just like my husband. And he was teasing, but I was like triggered, not by the teasing of me, because I was part of it too. I was fine with that. But I was triggered by the teasing of other people and my dog. And it was so interesting to me. And so what I did when I noticed I was triggered, I'm like, isn't that interesting? I wonder what that's about. And I really realized that I am very triggered by teasing and what can be construed as bullying. Now, my son was not bullying in any way, shape, or form. I want to be clear about that. He was not bullying. My son is like the opposite of a bully. He just teases, but he's not a bully. But I was triggered by what could be perceived as bullying of other people and how like protective I am of other people. And that led me to some huge insights this morning about bullying in my own life where I wasn't protected by adults that I don't want to say should have protected me, but that we would expect to protect a child, right? I mean, as children, I mean, maybe some of you have experienced this. If anybody else has, like, don't leave me hanging out here alone, guys. If anybody else has experienced this, not necessarily bullying as a child, but feeling like you were not protected by the adults in the room at the time, like, share that. I would love to know. Lisa's shaking her head. You've experienced that?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that we need to also, because it feels awful in a certain way when we acknowledge that an adult who loved us somehow didn't protect us. But what I like to, how I like to frame that for people is that, so it ties into your block therapy because during the time that I was having Rolfing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when you describe uh, block therapy, I relate to it through having had Rolfing done. And oh, I'm tying this back into where we were. Oh my God, you know how that goes. So how is this tying in? This is saying that what was your
Not being protected by the
not
people
being
that
protected?
love us.
Yes. So I too was not protected, and I during my Rolfing period, I was also going through all what was coming up and the not being protected, and I was sort of a bit miffed that the adults hadn't protected me. So I was having a moment of miffness, and how God works miracles is that right about a week later, I was hosting a big event in my house, and there was probably 50 or more people in my house, adults and children, music going. And this young woman who was a mom of like a 2 year old and now a baby in her pack sack, right? So the baby is new. So the mom is watching the 2 year old and paying attention to her. But every now and again, she looks down at the baby. And at a crucial moment when her 2 year old looked to her from the stage where she was on playing an instrument and was looking directly at her mom for mom to, notice her, mom, the baby caught mom's attention. So mom was not looking in this moment where the child needed the mom's reassurance, her reassuring glance, that feeling of being
Yeah.
protected. And my friend is a great mom, and she missed that moment because her other infant required her attention. And when that happened to me, I realized that a lot of our unprotected moments in our life, if we were from a family with multiple people and multiple things going on, a lot of things call for people's attention. And it was easier for me to back away from the question of needing to know why I wasn't protected. It sort of showed me the busyness of life sometimes leaves us unprotected, not because our mom or dad or other caring adults didn't care for us. They did. They could have been needed in another capacity that didn't allow them to deal with the bullies that might have been, doing stuff to us, right?
Absolutely. And I love that, Lisa, because it's so true. And if we can just understand that everybody is doing the best they can in every moment with
Hmm.
where they are, with what they have. And it's really easy for us to be angry and frustrated, and honestly, I've been able to find a lot of forgiveness for a lot of the adults and the people. Some I'm still working on, right? Because they're super deep.
Yeah,
Like
for
it's like
sure.
it's deep in that fascia, and so it's a challenge, right? But yeah, and not beat ourselves up about it. So I want to say Claire says she has for sure. Thank you, Claire. Shirley says, totally agree. I've been there, not protected. Lori said, sarcasm covers a lot. Yes, it does. And Denise says, I've been there also and told never to tell anybody. Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated thing. It's deep. And the interesting thing that I want to say, um, that because it's a process. It's not a one-time thing and then you're done. We have the opportunity to revisit and go deeper, right? Because it's like a spiral. And you know uh, the Fibonacci, whatever that, the sequence, whatever that is, and you go deeper as you go. And so the interesting thing is, about a year and a half ago, I realized that I needed to stop sleeping on my side, which I was doing every day, my whole life. And because of it wasn't helping my shoulder alignments and all of the fascia that I was working on throughout the day. A lot of it would be undone when I was sleeping at night. And so I've never been a back sleeper ever, but I decided to try it. And so for the last year and a half, I've been sleeping on my back. Sometimes I wake, and it's fine. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I just crave turning on my side and curling into the fetal position. And I realize it's because I feel vulnerable. I feel exposed. I don't feel safe. I don't feel protected. And so it's interesting because all this time I've known that, and I just keep holding the intention to know how I can help myself to feel more safe and more protected. So no coincidence that during this whole winter season, the stuff in my deep dark cobwebby corners has all been about protection and not feeling protected as a child.
Hmm.
And there is a sense of there's a lot of things when we as children, when we as adults look back at the things that happened as children, and we can see times that we were not protected by adults that we look to for protection. It brings up a ton of emotions: grief, sadness, not enoughness, um, just
Hmm.
anger, frustration, all the things. So let it, like, don't tell yourself don't feel this, or this is not good, or whatever. Just feel it, and feel it, let it come up and out and through. And it's interesting because there is a big piece of me that has I'm being very vulnerable here, which is interesting. I didn't plan on this today, but there's
I love that.
there's a huge piece of me that does not feel comfortable being vulnerable.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not comfortable being vulnerable in a lot of spaces, but I feel like that's moving. Like, I felt a huge shift today. I had some huge ahas with that piece of the not being protected. I did a beautiful ceremony that transmuted a lot of it into this pure gold, literally. And so, anyway, we do the work and the rewards are there. That is the message today. But we got to be slow with it. And even though a big part of us is feeling like we just want to run and sprint into spring, slow yourself down, press pause, and really get your bearings, because that's another thing. These are times of uncertainty, and it's easy to be scared and not know and feel wonky and all that, and it's okay. So if you're not on my email list, I really suggest that you go get on my email list, because I just wrote a beautiful email about that, and um, just why it's okay. So if you go to msnelling.com, that's where you can get on my email list and get a free gift if you're not on my email list. And I would love to have you. That's where I share all the big things. Like, I share on the socials all the time, and I do all of that. But if you go to my email list, that's where you get all the big news, the consistent news, and everything. So if you've joined us, please say hi. Let us know who you are and where you're from, where you're joining us from. And also, if you'd like a card, because guess what? It's time. It's
All
time
right.
for a card.
Let me interrupt and say to you, Michele, I've noticed something this whole time. I've been bated breath the whole time because everybody that's asked for a card, and then myself and you, let me just show you, because I was writing everybody's name down, not in any order, but just writing everybody's name down on my piece of paper. And you can see that I've dotted all the I's in everybody's name, and everybody did have an I in their name. Now, Nyla's here, so she's going to ask for a card, but up until that moment, everybody had an I in their name. And I was told to get out the 4 I cards and have you choose, Michele, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
All right. And so this is for all of the I named people that watch this at any time, because we were talking about feeling unprotected. So if you're a person with the letter I in your name and you have an experience where you felt unprotected, somehow this message is for all of us that have experienced that. And I just want to get to the page, not to read it, but just to give myself, I'm a bit excited. I get
Yes, that
excited.
is amazing, Lisa. Thank you for that insight. So
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, so exciting. I'm always looking at those type of weird things that we all have, and because I work with words and the alphabet, it just happens to me. So the secret about this particular card, what it is asking us to really know, is that the oneness. So every I person who's watching this, if you've had an incident where you've been praying or meditating, and this doesn't have had to happen every time. This only happened to has to have happened to you once, is what they're saying. If you've had one experience where you were so deep in it that you were completely enveloped and became one with all that is, if you've had that moment, that's the moment to reach for when you think about times where you were unprotected. Because while we were unprotected in some human way, we are always one with all that is. And to allow ourselves to slink into that place and feel that oneness hold us truly can change the whole temperament of your day. So,
Oh, Lisa, I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And welcome, Nyla. Lisa mentioned Nyla was here. Hi, Nyla. Let us know if you'd like a card. And Susan Mullen. Oh my gosh, Susan, what a gift to have you here. And gift everybody here. But I don't think Susan's joined us for Mondays with Michele yet, or at least I haven't. She hasn't let us know she's here. So welcome, Susan, for your first time. And I would love to pull a card for you. So everybody that wants a card, so I've got Claire, Denise, Lori, Debbie. I'm going to say Nyla and Susan. You guys put your numbers that you want in give us a comment of the number you want, 1 through 21, right, Lisa?
Yeah, 1 through 21.
1 through 21. And we will go there. Yay, I'm so glad you made it, Susan. What a gift. And I just have to say, everybody, like, you know, Saturday was Women's Day. And like, I didn't make a post because where would I end? Like, acknowledging the women that inspire me, the women that have been big people in my life. It wouldn't end, and I want to say, yes, Shirley, I've got you on the list. If you could give us your number. Um, so Susan is amazing. She is an intuitive and a medium, and she is a very, very gifted animal communicator. And she has the most gorgeous deck of oracle cards all about communicating with your animals that have passed away. And it is absolutely beautiful. She is a champion for the animal world. So go find her, look her up, and you'll love everything that you find. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, Raina. Good morning. Welcome, 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 Raina. If you'd like a card, let us know. And if you want a card, give us a number between 1 and 21. Okay, so Lisa,
Yeah.
Claire is first. And where is Claire? 13 is the number. Okay, so I'm going to draw Claire's card first.
Okay.
Claire, I just keep getting the feeling like everything that I talked about at the beginning of Mondays with Michele today is all for you. Like the little Claire not feeling protected, um, all of that. It's so up right now. I'm not sure what's happened in like the last week. It's interesting because I feel like it's a dichotomy, like you're completely interesting choice of words. No, split. On one hand, you are so in your personal power and you are like on fire. And then the other part of you is like little Claire cowering in a corner, terrified to move. Okay. So that's what I'm feeling. So the card that I pulled, so interesting how this is all your personal power, right? And I said you were split, and yet the personal power is right in the middle. So that's the thing, you want to know that you're not split. Like that little Claire just needs some time and attention so that this can grow. And how does it grow? It grows with love. It grows with your passion and your trust in yourself and your connection to the divine. Okay. And the word, oh, I've got it upside down. Shoot. That's okay. Um,
That's okay.
the word that came forth to me is magnification. Okay. And that's not necessarily on line 13. That's just the word that popped out to me when I turned it over. So, magnification. So, magnify the love, the creative aspect, and the connection to spirit. And do that in such a way that you comfort that little Claire. One thing that I want to say, um, is this is for everybody, that whether you were here for what I was talking about with the needing protection as a child and not feeling protected by adults. I think most of us have had that, or whether you're just joining us. Now would be a beautiful time to do some work with your younger self, and you don't have to you don't have to make it a lot of work. Just connect with her, reassure her that you've got her, reassure her that you love her, reassure her that you are in control, and that happened and you acknowledge it. You've got it now. Write a letter, do something. Okay. So Claire, I hope that helps. I help. Sorry. And yes, Darlene, um, we would love to pull a card for you. So uh, Raina, did you want a card? And Darlene wants a card. And Darlene let us know number between 1 and 21. Okay, Lisa.
All right. So this is your card, Claire. Really, it doesn't really do it justice. But this is your card. And this card is telling you a very interesting little story. And it is actually almost giving you a little rhyme because, again, it is the name of the card. It's got a long, okay. If you've never known about these cards, I'll just tell you. They have some kooky way that they like to talk, and some of them have very interesting names, such as this card, which calls itself the Flaming Fire of Divinely Inspired Activities.
Wow.
So,
I love that.
right. So, this card is asking you to retreat to the place where the flaming fire is. Okay, so you're being asked to. I think that you might do well to sit in a chair, like because most of us maybe don't have access to fire. So if you don't have an active fire pit, then I'm suggesting sitting where sunlight can come in the window on you. Um, and just sit there because it is the three words that are on line 13, and there's three words. There's only 16 spaces across. It's rare that there's three words on a line. So we've gotten a three-word line, and the words are veil, void, and vistas. So here's the deal. No matter how squished or unprotected you have felt, the truth is you are totally protected. And if you go to the flaming fire and you sit there, the veil disappears. You're in the void, and the vistas that are meant for you will appear before you easily, and you will be shown what inspired activities are divinely meant for you. So you're get really it is about being not meditating in the dark. Okay, so you want to actually experience the feeling when you sit and you meditate and there's light coming through your eyelids. Have you felt that commonly happens to me where I feel golden light in my eyes. So you almost want to go for that experience. So that's what I got to say about that card. So that's really just it's really giving you a thing that you can do that isn't that hard to do. And it's promising you that if you sit in that light, the veil will lift. You'll be in the void and the vistas will appear. And honestly, they're making it sound that easy, like boom, boom, boom. Just sit there. Say, I'm ready for it to happen, and it can happen. That's what I'm gonna say.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love, Lisa, that you say it can be just that easy. Boom, 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 right? We love to make things hard and complicated. We have a
Well,
belief.
that's the spell. That's the world spell. The world spell is complication.
Yep.
Um, I've been reading the gene keys for the past little while, and one of my gene keys is number 23, which goes from complexity to simplicity. And that falls under my purpose. My purpose is to turn complex things into simple things. And this deck is here to help us do that through language, because language complicates things. The shit you say to yourself in your head really does complicate matters.
Oh my God, isn't that the truth? Okay, so now we are on Denise, and Denise is number 13. Susan, if you could let us know a number between 1 and 21. Oh, you did. Sorry, Susan.
Yeah,
I see it already. Never mind. Never mind. Got it. Okay, so Denise,
Denise.
the word that I heard, it was interesting because I heard two words when I was getting ready to pull your card. The first word was slow, the second word was joy. So, where can you slow down? Where can you find the slow? So, I know that I said that the energy of this week again was slow, but it's asking you to even more intently go slow. Slow down. Really notice, really be aware, really be present, because there's some joy. You've been doing better finding joy, I feel, but there's more joy to feel. Now, look at the card that I turned for you. It's all orange, red, and yellow, which is so beautiful and all about joy. And the card is orange. So, you can't make this stuff up, guys. So, find the joy and find it in little ways. Like it feels like oftentimes you're looking for joy in big things, find it in the little. And the word that jumped out to me is expression. So if this was me in my card, I would say, how can joy be expressed to me even more? And I'm open for it. That's what I would say. Hope that helps, Denise.
And this is a card I got for Denise. So I would like to say that the deck, the way that the deck came to me, one night I was sitting outside, I did not even have the deck with me, and I was told that two different cards actually held the meaning of what this deck was here for. And this is one of those two cards. And this particular card is called The Language of Universal Love is My Mother Tongue. Okay? The language of universal love is my mother tongue. So the words that I are on line 13 are the word row, ROW, row. So we're either talking about row, row, row your boat, or we're talking about get your ducks in a row. The second word is relationship. So I'm going to say to you, all your ducks can fall in a row. You can row, row, row your boat merrily along. Okay. You can be in right relationship. And all you have to do is say to yourself every single day when you get up, the language of universal love is my mother tongue. And you say that when you go to bed, and you say that to yourself many times a day. And as you claim that that is the language that you speak, you will find that even if you have to speak in relationship to someone in a tenuous topic, the language of universal love will be the language that speaks to that topic, because you will use that language as your mother tongue. So it's like as if um, this is our root language. This all language should pass on the feeling of love, but they have put spells on our letters, on our alphabet, and on our words. And when we remind ourselves that this is the truth, if your language will change for you without you actually having to try, because you claim it. You claim it. So that's what you're being told is really possible for you.
I love that. Oh my goodness, so gorgeous. And Kathleen is here. Oh, I wanted to say Claire said, "Wow, thank you." So, thank you, Claire, for
Thank you,
letting us
Claire.
read for you. We appreciate everybody that comes and allows us to read for you. And Kathleen, hello, no problem. We just appreciate you being here. And a busy weekend, and then we all lost an hour. So it's amazing we're all here. How do you lose an hour and still just show up for all the things? We just do it. We're amazing, miraculous people. But Kathleen, if you want a card, let us know. And also a number between 1 and 21. And Denise says, I wrote that down. I love that. Thank you both very much. I'm excited. Wonderful. Okay. And Lori, here we go. And I want to remind everybody, or not remind, I just want to let everybody know that I am having a special right now just because there is magic in the number 3. And I love when I'm working with someone to do a series of 3 sessions. We go really deep, we get a lot accomplished. You have an accountability partner. We make sure that we're holding the vision of what we want without letting it go. So I'm having a special buy 2 sessions, get 1 free right now. The link is right there. Okay, so now we are with Lori. Lori, I saw a phrase for you, and it was, what do I want? And the thing is, this is a really hard question, not only for you, but for a lot of people. We get so buried in everything else and everyone else in the world that we don't even make our own to-do list oftentimes. And so when we have some space, we're like, oh crap, well, who am I and what do I want? And it's okay to be there. Like, don't beat yourself up, give yourself some grace, and just know that this is a question. If it was me, I would just pose this to myself, like, Michelle, what do you want? And I would start with small things like, what do I want to eat for lunch? Where do I want to sit when I'm watching this show that I'm going to watch? I start with little things like that. Oh, Lori says bingo. I love that. So I start with little things like that because that feels manageable. Just to go, what do I want in life is huge. Like, that's huge. And that sets us up for self-sabotage. Sorry, Lisa, I forgot. Lori is 15.
Right.
So start with small things, just giving yourself permission to ask yourself, what do I want here? What do I want there? What will feel good here? That will be really, really good. The card that I pulled is, I keep pulling them upside down. I don't know why. Okay, this gorgeous card, and I'm going to say all this red. Okay. So when we talked about being not feeling protected as a child, I would, if it was me, I would spend some time with little Lori and the places where you didn't feel safe. Okay. And the word that I see is assemble. That jumped out to me. So assemble those people that were involved in those times and maybe have a talk with them. Your spiritual self and their spiritual self. Hope that helps, Lori. Thank you.
All right, Lori. Lori. So we have another card for Lori with lots of orange and red, but we've got this um, big pink. I call them like they're like funnels. And this card actually did name itself Love's Fiery Funnel. Okay, so it's called Love's Fiery Funnel. So, and the two words that I have with it are fervor and fondness. Those are the words that are on line 15. So it wants me to talk about the idea of being in love's fiery funnel. Um, I don't know if you are um, wanting to be in love's fiery funnel with someone, but they're suggesting that you perhaps have cold feet about the funnel. You perhaps have cold feet about the funnel, is what they're really saying. It's like part of you wants it and part of you doesn't want it because there are those remnants of unprotected times, and that does make us want to, not jump into the love's fiery funnel. Let's admit it. It does make us leery, and this can be love's fiery funnel, not a love relationship. It could be like with people that we love and we're in a relationship, and as we change and try to have boundaries and different things happen, um, if we haven't stood up for ourselves and now we start standing up for ourselves, that can make things messy in love's fiery funnel with our children. Like my daughter has to learn boundaries. She'll phone me in the middle of any live event I'm doing. Okay. I have had to learn how to, you know, be in love's fiery funnel and figure out how to, deal with situations like that and put boundaries around myself. So they're saying to you that this is a topic. They're making me chitter chatter about it because they don't want you to feel like you're the only one that has this happen. Oh, they're making me talk like that. That's very funny. But you're not the only one that has this happen. We're all dealing with this because we've all been in relationships with people where they've let us down with that feeling of not either seeing us or not protecting us, something. So they're suggesting that you make a little rhyme with the words fervor and fondness. It's like, um, um, I want to feel the feeling of fervor for the idea of love and stuff like that. I want to feel the fever or the fervor And I want to have the fondness. Like I want the combination. I want to feel the sizzle and I want there to be the fondness so that when I'm in this fiery funnel, I can speak my truth. I can be who I am and I can feel that it's safe to do so. So this is what it's surrounding. This is telling you use those little words, fervor and fondness. And they're saying those words will work for you, Lori, because they're not words that we overly use in our language today. Like you don't hear people going, "Oh, I have a fondness for Michelle." That's not a word people are going to use. So they want you to use the word fondness because you don't have a lot of word triggers around the word fondness. They also want you to use the word fervor because that wouldn't be necessarily a word we would use to describe that we're feeling hot for something or we're turned on by something. And so, yes, for sure, those two words, if you turn them into some little thing for yourself, they can work to help you find you know, the I don't want to use the word courage, but that's the word. They're giving me the courage to, yeah, courage is the word they want. The courage that you need to be in love's fiery funnel and speak your mind. That's basically what you're saying. Yeah.
I love that. What an incredible message. Lisa's so amazing. I could just listen to her all day. And Lori says, I'm finding who belongs in my life and who doesn't. It's out there for me. Yes, it is, Lori. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're with Debbie. Let me find, I should have been doing this, but
Number two, I know. I have it written on my sheet.
Debbie said number two. Yep. All right. So Debbie, um, the message or the word that I kept seeing the whole time when I was shuffling the cards for you and just sitting with your energy is wait. So I don't know what's going on, but I feel like you're in a hurry to get something completed, and what's being called for right now is wait. Just wait. So as much as you can, loosen your grip. I see your hands like this, so loosen your grip and just be in stillness. And the card that I got, ooh, purple, all purple with some green up in here, which is gorgeous. And I'm going to say this is very much about just being in faith, right? Faith and waiting. And the card that or the word that I see is infancy. That just really stood out to me. And to me, what that's saying is this situation that you're having some angst about and some impatience with is in its infancy, and it's got to grow and become. So you don't want to rush it. Can't rush it. It's like, when you're pregnant, if you've been pregnant, it's like you, with your first baby, especially, you're like, oh, when am I I just want to have the baby right now, just right now. But you don't want to rush it because things take time to marinate and become and evolve and all that. So be, just wait. I hope that helps, Debbie. You're welcome, Lori. Okay.
Okay. And for Debbie, I've got this card for you, and you can see it's got the letter X. So just to say that when the system was coming through me, I had lots of excuses for whatever it was trying to be. And one of it was when they told me I was going to be filling these cards with words, I said, well, there's not enough X words to fill 4 cards with X words. And then right away they said, but there's lots of words that start with the EX. And they caught me there. So the X cards are actually EX words. And so, Debbie, this card is called Know Your Own Knowing. So you see this big yellow ball. This is in the middle of your body. I mean, in the chakra system, they call it something else. But I call the big yellow thing in the middle of us your wisdom maker. That's your wisdom maker. It's right there. And this is about knowing your own know. It says know your own knowing. So it's like as if the divine is commanding you to know your own knowing. Don't go around looking at everybody else's knowing. Know your own knowing. And it's funny because Michelle said, you're trying to go fast, and this message she's getting is telling you to slow it down. And what word you got is just a word that you would have to say slowly, but it pertains to the fact that you're trying to to achieve something, get somewhere, do something, like how Michelle is suggesting you want to go fast, but you've got this giant long word that forces one to say it slowly. So your word, Debbie, is expansionistic. Expansionistic. You can't even say it fast. And it's a clue to say to you, you are expanding. You are growing and changing. It's incrementally happening. And when you feel that you are, when you feel the push, like I'm not getting where I need to go fast enough, when you start to have the feelings that make you want to push forward, when you're getting the guidance, the divine guidance to slow down, the word expansionistic wants you to say it. So write down the word expansionistic. So it's expansion with an ISTIC on the end. And I am told that when you feel the feeling of wanting to rush, saying that word, because you have to slow it down, there will be some power that takes place within your body, which will allow you to naturally let down that, because by the time you've felt it, you've created like a physical urge, and it'll actually zero out the physical urge to take action. That's what they said. Expansionistic. It's really going to help you.
What a word. And like you said, I love that you can't say it fast, even if you wanted to.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Shirley, Nyla, Susan, and Darlene. Oh, and can you guys please let me know that you're here? And I just want to make sure. And then this Ms. Silver 41, we would love to welcome from Australia. I'm so honored that you are joining us from that beautiful country. I haven't been there, but the pictures and what I've heard, it's amazing. And of course, you can have a card. Maybe get your first name just so that we know. And then if you can give us a number between 1 and 21, that would be fantastic. Okay, so now we are on Shirley. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Susan. Thank you,
Okay.
Shirley. Um, Shirley is number 7. And Nyla, if you're still here, please let us know. Okay, so Shirley, the words that I kept getting, actually, it's a phrase that I kept seeing, is this too shall pass. I kept seeing that over and over in my mind. This too shall pass. So I feel like there are 2 situations that are up for you right now, and they're really like tugging at your heart, and you're having a really hard time knowing what to do, how to, what actions to take. And the what I'm getting is these aren't necessarily your situations to be taking action with. And maybe the most loving action is to just stay in presence, stay in this present moment, connected to your space of love, right? So this feels very much about, like, I don't know if there's a situation with sisters that you're involved with, but it feels something like that, and family. So the cards that I pulled is all about, it's just, red, pink, orange, yellow, all that, all those lower 3 energy centers, which are the chakras of matter, which are all about what it means to be a human. And at the basis of everything, what our human self wants is to feel in control. We want to know where we can be in control. And that usually translates to what action can we take to help us feel in control, right? Well, the action that you can take right now to feel most in control is to just connect into your heart space from a space of presence. That's it. And it's interesting because the word that I see, the word that jumped out right away is physicality. So physicality, which means, like, to me, this is, you got to get embodied, Shirley. That is what's being called for. Embodiment. Embodiment. Okay. Oh, thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. And Ms. Silver 41 is Louise. Welcome, Louise. And we've got your number. So let's, okay.
And I've got Raina's number. Raina
Yep.
has.
Raina has number. Yep.
Okay. All right. So this is for you, Shirley. It's a great card, and it really does go together with what Michele said. This card is called Stand Firm and Believe. Look at it. There's like funnels of, and we can understand if the funnels are red, that this is like a physical, these could be physical type activities going on around you, and these type of things are happening. There's no denying that there's stuff happening, but your job in the moment is to stand firm and believe. That's your job. Stand firm and believe. And the word that you got, there was only one word on your line, and it is the word philanthropic. So it speaks to the fact that you would want to help, but you would want to help. So you would want that philanthropic feeling of being the helper, right? But you're being told to stand firm and believe, because guess who the philanthropic helper is? The divine. Your job is to stand firm and believe that the divine is on the field. The divine is doing the work that needs to be done. Your job is to stand firm in the storm and believe.
Wow. How gorgeous. I love it. And guys, I just want to mention, like, it's awesome to come in and have us read these cards because they're so gorgeous. If you would like to have your own special deck, you can get them. LisaStarrFrancis.com. You can order your deck and enjoy them yourselves. And they are such a unique, special type of an oracle card deck to have, in that it's just unlike anything you've ever experienced, obviously, right? You guys are experiencing it. And it's wonderful to, speaking from my own personal experience, it's wonderful to have your own deck so that you can play with the words and unspell yourself as needed, right?
Yes.
You don't have to wait for Mondays with Michele and Lisa, or you can do it yourself, or if you haven't joined Lisa for her lives, for her card pulls daily, find her and do that as well. I just wanted to say that. So LisaStarrFrancis.com, you can find them there. All right, Nyla, the two words came to me immediately.
Nyla or Susan?
Nyla was first because Nyla was on, so I just
okay. Okay.
And Nyla wanted. We can do Susan if you want. Let's do Susan.
No. I haven't pulled a card. I just want to know where I am. I didn't write them down in the right order. Okay.
Sorry, Nyla's number 11.
So okay. I'm going to Nyla. Okay, Nyla.
Oh, let's see what Shirley said real quick. Sorry, Nyla. Wow, so perfect. I'm wondering how to handle some drama from others who are trying to pull me in. I will stand firm and let divine take the lead. Yay! Yes, stand
I'm
firm.
also facing an exact replica of that in my life, where I have had to say, so here's how it works for me. This deck was totally created because I surrendered, right? Surrendered and did whatever I was told. And I'm a really bad listener. I don't really take people's advice very easily. I'm a know-it-all Aquarius. I'm not listening to nobody. But this deck, I had to listen to the divine. And very often when I can't get what I want in my life, like the kind of peace of mind or whatever, they tell me, if I can surrender that situation the way that I surrendered to this, all manner of good things are mine. It's very hard for us to surrender and to stand firm and believe like this. This is one of my favorite paintings that I did. I love this painting, and I love for that idea, because in the storm, it's not easy to be the one that stands firm and believes. So I'm not suggesting, Shirley, that that's going to be easy. But when you tell yourself, oh, I have given that over. Oh, I'm worried, I've given it over. Oh, I'm worried, I've given it over. When we keep telling ourselves that throughout the day, it gets easier to let go of it. And I like to say to my daughter, who doesn't like to let go very much, you have to let go to make space. That's the truth. You have to
Ooh,
let go. How can God work a miracle in any of our lives if we're always trying to fix the friggin' thing? We have to give it up. We have to say, okay, maybe I don't like to give it up. So I'll give it up for today and see if I can still give it up tomorrow. So,
yeah.
you know, yeah, take
Yes.
these chunks.
And I want to add, and this is a message for everybody, okay? It's a message for all of us on here now, those who will watch the replay. When we're looking for control, when we because that's like I said, that's our humanness. We want that. It feels like it's a big action, right? The yang. But the truth of it is there is so much power and so much control in the yin. We miss it. We gloss it over and we forget about it. But when we can be comfortable in the yin, miracles happen. Okay. So try out the yin a little bit. Maybe that's our goal for this week is to try the yin. Okay. So Nyla, two words I heard. Nyla is number 11. Two words I heard: courage and brave. Okay. So I feel like there's two situations, actually three, but the third one doesn't feel as up as the two that are asking you to really step into courage right now and bravery. And the reason they tagged on the brave is because they want to make sure that you know that brave does not mean the absence of fear, right? Brave does not mean, oh, I feel I'm ready, I got this. No questioning. Brave means there is fear. We're questioning. We don't understand. We're worried, whatever, but it's not going to stop us. We're moving forward. So um, that is the message for you. Trust yourself and move forward. Now, the card that I just pulled, which I love, is I think Lisa pulled this earlier,
Mm-hmm,
but look at that. And I love it because that is like a great big sun to me.
mm-hmm,
This
mm-hmm,
yellow sphere, right?
mm-hmm,
And it's shining all over. And this is also the core. Again, oh, we've got a lot of cards today that are about the three lower chakras, the chakras of matter, the chakras about being human. So that just tells me we're all in our human a lot right now, right? And how do we find balance when we're two in the human? We get embodied. Okay. So get embodied, acknowledge the fear, and move through it. You got this, Nyla. And I got to say something. Darlene said, Shirley, you've got this, girl. And Shirley said, thank you. And I love the support. Thank you, guys, because, that's what this is all about.
mm-hmm.
And okay, Nyla, thank you.
Nyla. So it's so funny because I fawned over the last card, and my cards when they were being painted, they would say to me, "You can't like one more than another. They're your babies." Okay, so there's 104 babies that I had, and none of them ever want me to say that I love the other card. Like I actually whisper it sometimes when I'm saying it, so the whole deck can't hear it. The things I do. Anyways, this is another card I loved when I painted it. I loved it immediately, and they didn't name themselves till many months after being painted, so I didn't know what it would be called. But this card calls itself "The Dream Is Real, Nyla." So I'm asked to say, what dream do you want to be real right now? Not like, it's like, what dream do you want to have real today? It might be, I wish I had enough money to buy myself a nice takeout meal and I didn't have to cook. So it's saying it doesn't matter if the dream is a big dream or a little dream, right? It could be your big dream, but it could be a little dream. Okay. It's just trying to say to you that the dream is real. The dream is real. We can have the dream. It's like saying the dream is real is saying to us, yeah, you can dream it and it can be real. It's real. What you can dream is already real. If you've dreamt it, it's already happened, just not we're on the physical playground where we're playing. But the dream is real. And the two words you have on that line are the word confident. So it's asking you to be confident to that idea. Be confident in that idea. That even if it's not appearing, if you've thought it up, it exists already in the invisible plane. And it can very well become showing on this plane of reality where we exist. So it's like we dream things and they can come into this reality. And the dream could be a conscious waking dream, it could be a sleeping dream, it could be your life dream, it could be the dream I say, where I get fish and chips today instead of having to cook, that type of thing. It can be any dream it wants to be. The dream is real. Be confident in that at all levels. I guess that's what it's saying. At all levels, be confident in that. And also, the other word is closed. So don't be closed to it, is the thing. Don't be closed to the dream being real. And perhaps you're being told that because we live in a world where they try to tell us all the time that there's so many barriers to making your dream come true. And there's only one barrier to making any of our dreams come true, and that is the ability to surrender it to the divine and ask to be shown. And we are when we do that. So that's what I got to say for that.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh, surrendering is so essential. And some days it is so hard. But
Yeah, every day it's hard.
well,
It's hard. I
some,
mean, the symbolism of dragging the cross, okay? The symbolism of dragging the cross. When you there's no weight to the cross if you surrender and you know that you don't have to drag that cross.
yeah.
You don't have to. There's a power greater than yourself that will help you
Yep.
always. Yeah. So let's
And
not drag it.
and some days it does become easier, right?
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
only when we keep asking for help and keep cleaning away the things that are coming up for us. Like you're suggesting that, using block therapy constantly, you can keep going to deeper and deeper levels and cleaning away the junk. And in word alchemy, it's the same thing. You can go deeper and deeper into um, the storytelling that words hold for you and get rid of the junk, right?
that's
So,
right. That's right. So, Susan, you're up. You're number 8. Nyla says, that's awesome. I'm my worst enemy. Thank you, ladies. Nyla, we're right there with you.
I'm
Right
my
there
worst.
with you.
Yeah, yeah. We don't show videos like when we've lost it at home and we're like having a little meltdown. I mean, imagine if you got to see everybody in the spiritual realm who works in this realm when they're caught off guard or something doesn't work out the way you need it to, and something's going on. You just have to laugh your head off because we are all caught by it now and again.
That's right.
That is just the truth.
Okay, Susan, number 8. Let me go back up. Where was it? 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 There we go. Okay, so Susan, I kept getting a picture of a mountain, okay, and hearing now is the time for your creativity and for being creative. Okay. So the mountain is the symbol for me of like when something feels too hard, when I don't see how it's possible, all those things. And it's the divine reminding me be creative, find a new way around, be like the water, essentially. And the other thing is, this is you've entered into a time, it feels like maybe 3 weeks. I keep seeing a 3, so I don't know if it's 3 months. It feels more like 3 weeks to me that you've entered into a time of being a time of learning, of great learning, and um like being the student, which isn't necessarily comfortable for you, but it's where you're being called. Okay. So, ooh, look at this card. I love this because this is so perfect. All the blue, all the purple. So communication, right? And the divine. So connection to the divine is going to amp up your communication. And this is how we learn, right? We either make this process, just like Lisa was saying, we make it easy or we make it hard. And, let's choose to believe that it can be easy, that your learning can be easy and fun and full of joy and interesting insights, not the hard trudging, dragging the cross, like Lisa was saying. Okay.
Mhm.
And the thing that keeps coming is like, we talked about this. I talked about this several weeks ago on a Mondays with Michelle, but I just saw this for you, Susan, and maybe a reminder for everybody. But when a female fetus is formed, the ovaries, fallopian tubes, and vocal cords are one organ. And then as the fetus grows, they split and become two separate. But the imprint of that connection is still there, the energetic imprint, and is forever for us women. So our joy, our sense of self, our authentic self, and our authenticity is directly related to our throat chakra. Okay. So open that channel to the divine even more, Susan. Allow yourself to be the student and enjoy. Good luck. I hope that helps.
All right. So, wow, Susan gets this card, which is the card that has caused a lot of controversy because people with a certain type of mind always see things in this card which I didn't really see until others pointed out. But it does begin with the letter L. This is an L card. And this particular card calls itself spreading deeply loving signals. So when I painted this for reference, this triangular building down here to me was like some kind of longhouse, but it was like, because it was pink, it was like a love longhouse, like love and healing was taking place in there. And then this thing here was smoke coming up out of it. But that quickly turned itself into something else. So the cards are meant not to have words on them so that we can see into the pictures whatever it is that we perceive. But this card does call herself spreading deeply loving signals. And on line 8, Susan, there were 3 words. Again, there's only 16 little spots. So for 3 words to get on any line, on any of the 104 cards, takes it really is magical when you get one of those lines. And your words are labor, left, and lit. So I immediately felt that you are now in a place in your life where, and Michelle was talking about a mountain when I read the name of the card to myself. And immediately, you were on the mountain actually spreading loving signals, like as if you were, standing up at the top of the mountain. My guides like to show me things like blowing bubbles, and those bubbles are spreading this love all over. So it is like you're doing that. And the labor and left is like they're saying that the labor part of your journey has left. The hard, or maybe it's a mental construct that you're letting go of, that it's hard. Something has left to do with the labor part. And lit, they said you're lit up now in this, on this mountain where you stand, sending out these signals, like you're lit, like you're lit. That's like they're saying, like lit. So yeah, really, just to let you know, if there's been hard work somewhere in the transformation, that is left. That you can feel like you're never going to work that hard again, or nothing's ever going to be that difficult again. So
Wow.
what I want to say.
That is what an amazing message full of hope. Like and just like more than hope, even just like certainty. Gosh, I love that. Woo. And Susan says, Beautiful. Thank you, Michelle. Amazing. And so resonates. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, Darlene. Darlene is here. What was Darlene's number? Let's
15, I have it.
15.
15. Yep, I have it.
I'm going to put it up just so that we 15. Okay, Darlene, the word that I kept seeing, and I just want to say before, thank you everybody again for being here. Thank you so much for allowing us the um, honor of reading for you because I know that this is, it's not easy, but we appreciate you guys letting us do it. So,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Darlene, the word that I kept hearing is purge. And I just keep feeling like there's a big purge necessary. And it's twofold. It's in the energetic and the energetic and the emotional I'm kind of putting as one. And then it's in the physical. So are you needing to like I see an area in your space that's just got a lot of stuff. It's like paperwork and books and just things, a lot of things. Clear that clutter, purge that, and then um emotionally and energetically it's time for a good purge. If it was me, I would do like a cleaning and clearing ceremony, almost like a cord cutting with people type of a thing. And I'm going to say not cutting, maybe a cord dissipating or dissolving or something like that, because it feels like you need gentleness right now. Okay, the card that oh, this is another one that we had.
Mm-hmm.
Right, what's this card called, Lisa?
Stand firm and believe.
Okay. And what I was going to say is all this makes me feel like when I look at this card, these look like tornadoes, gusts of wind almost, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of chaos and storm around, but they're converging in this one area, this pedestal almost, this very grounded area. So get grounded, and do the purge. Hope that helps, Darlene. Thank you.
Oh, and Darlene, I just love it that that card is about the purge, and this card is about what do you do after you purge. So you're going to purge. You're going to purge because what you really need is to purge because you really need to be in this mindset, which this card calls itself vibrant world. Vibrant world. All right. And the word is effervescence. So you are being told the purge, the benefit of the purge for you. What's in it for you? Because we never like to do the purge, but they're saying the purge. What's in it for you? It's a vibrant world is in it for you. The feeling of effervescence is in it for you. And guess what else is in it for you? See all this beautiful blue here? That's the turquoise. That's the throat. So, in this feeling of effervescence, in the vibrant world where the feeling is effervescence, that is a place where you will be able to speak, feeling grounded in your body and emotionally in control. So, you won't be talking poppycock, you'll be talking real Darlene talk. And that's the world that you need to live in. And you need to purge the place and the thoughts that tell you it's not a vibrant world and that you can't have the feeling of effervescence because this card says you can. And that is where you become free to speak. So that's what I got there.
I love it. Oh, Darlene says, it's been crazy with the recent boyfriend's family. Thank you, Michelle. You are welcome, Darlene. And that message from Lisa will just help with that as well. Lisa, Susan says, thank you, Lisa. We love that. Okay. Raina, Miss Raina chose number 11. Okay, Raina, I just saw the minute I tuned into your energy, this huge, like, blanket. But it's not just a blanket because we typically think of a blanket on top, but it's like a swaddle. Like when you swaddle a baby in a blanket, this big swaddling of love for you. And it feels like you need, or I don't want to say need, it would really serve you if you could connect to love and then move that love out to all areas of your life. So literally, like if you think about your body and you think about, breathing love into your toes, breathing love into the top, breathing it out into your fingertips, those are the farthest reaches. It's the same thing with your life, like spreading love, swaddling every part of your life in love. How can you do that? And the card that I'm pulling, ooh, that's beautiful. Red, yellow, and green, right? And it's got an orange, red, orange, yellow, and green with just the love, right? The green is the love. So, and again, all this is about the chakras of matter, the chakras about being human. So, where can you just blanket all the aspects of your life in love? And it's really going to be these human parts, the human parts, the sticky, messy, gunky humanness of the world and your life that are going to require more love. Okay. So I hope that helps, Raina. Thank you.
Hi, Raina. So I don't. Everybody else that I've read for here, I don't know them, but I do know Raina because she is one of my regular friends with Word Alchemy, and Raina's been doing Word Alchemy. Raina has the deck herself at home, and she's really um, Raina has really changed the frequency of language for herself in a big way. And so I do know her and I do know what's been going on in her life. So, Raina, your card is skies and streams. So I'm feeling like the card is telling you to get out, to notice the skyscapes. And because I know that's something that you like to do, you like to cloud watch. It's encouraging you to do those things. Skies and streams. It's encouraging you to do that, and that when you're in a moment where you're actively looking at the sky, or maybe there's a stream or a body of water where you would go, not like an ocean though, it is more like a stream. So I'm going to say it's more creek like, or I don't really know. But they're saying that in those moments, there's a chance for you to get out of all of your own feelings and be in a place where you can just actually be in the state of evaluation. So you can be in the mind that is able to be in evaluation frame and not have a bunch of emotions attached to it, because somehow the scenery um, lifts you out of that emotional body so that you can be in the proper mind for evaluation. And the other word is equal. So, equal, it wants to say either one of those activities are going to bring you equal benefits. So, any of those places. So, it could be, and here's what I'm going to say: skies and streams seems like you must need to go somewhere, but a sky or a stream can also be like when we do a puzzle and we get so involved in the puzzle pieces and thinking about where they go that all of our thoughts cannot have room. We can't think about the things that are on our heart, or the things that we keep ruminating over. We can't do it the same. So activities that are like that type of, oh, I'm looking at the cloud, oh, it looks like a bear or whatever. Those things allow you the freedom to be able to evaluate without emotion. And because of the fact that you are in a big change where grief is involved and there is a true loss in your life, it really does serve you to find those spaces where you can get up out of your emotional body and be in the proper space to make evaluations that can serve your highest good.
Love that. Wow. Um, and Darlene says, that is perfect. You ladies are awesome. Thank you, Darlene. We appreciate it. And Darlene also says, I'm never able to ground. If I do, it only lasts a little while. That's really common right now, Darlene. I mean, maybe this isn't just a new thing for you, but especially right now, the energy that's around the collective feels just wonky and like it's hard to ground. So, what I would suggest, because, I always share the stuff that I find helps me because I have trouble grounding too. And the one thing that I do if I'm feeling really ungrounded, like during the day, just I go and do the belly position with block therapy. So you could find that on YouTube, and you can use a rolled up towel. It's super easy, but that that position really, really embodies you like no other. So I would recommend that.
And I would offer this because my thing is about what if you're not at home, you grounded yourself, and now you're somewhere and you're feeling like my grounding is not lasting me.
Yeah.
One of the things that you can really do, you have to, but you need to do this when you ground yourself and you're in that grounding moment. You're saying to yourself throughout today, if I need to reconnect to this grounded feeling, all I have to do is stamp my feet. Okay? So now, if you stamp your feet, you've told yourself you're going to feel the feeling of grounded. And the more you work that program, the more it'll be. So sometimes I do stamp my feet while I'm in the line at the grocery store because now I'm becoming ungrounded.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going through checkout. Now I'm ungrounded. And I do sort of stomp my feet. And they may think there's actually like a little, pony prancing on the other side of the counter. But I don't really care. Okay, so stomp your little feet. But whenever we're deciding on something like this, we have to tell ourselves at the moment that we're in the grounding that I can get back to this exact feeling by stomping my feet. And that is a spell that you're putting on yourself. Here we are living in a world full of spells all over us. And the truth is, you can be the spell master and the spell caster for yourself.
That's right. Oh, I love it. And I want to add, I think we kind of have some unfair or too big expectations sometimes for ourselves about being present and being grounded. It's like, I Eckhart Tolle is the goal, but he's not the reality. Like I've never experienced being present and embodied for an entire 24 hours. Never. It's pockets of it. And my goal is if I had 3 minutes of grounded presence yesterday, let's go for 3 minutes and 2 seconds today, right?
Amen.
Small little movements. It's not these huge, big things, which we tend to do. Like Lisa said at the beginning, we're told it to be complicated. We're told to make it, and that's self-sabotage. So pull it back, be simple, and just go for, some grounding today. And you don't even need to time it. I just want to have, if I had 3 minutes of grounded embodiment yesterday that were 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and 9 seconds, today I just want 4. Right? I mean, like, do it. It's easier that way. It's better. Um, anyway, let's see what Raina says. Raina said, "Thank you so much, ladies. I was just at a baby shower and swaddling babies like a burrito was a conversation I had with someone. Oh my gosh. I love that. I have a Ho'oponopono blanket I've placed over me this last week at night, feeling love. I'll be taking a trip to the water because I felt the calmness as I imagined it. I live near a delta, so this is great. I need more than the sky right now." Wow, I love it. And Darlene says, "I'll be stomping all day." Yay!
So Raina does have a Ho'oponopono blanket because Raina won a big contest that I have where I was doing a 35-day in a row word metamorphosis, where you have a chance to clean thousands of words in a 35-day period. And I led this live challenge, and Raina won the Ho'oponopono blanket. So I used to Ho'oponopono to paint all of the paintings. And before there was a deck, there were I would make cards on paintings and I would take them out and people would choose them and then you would get the painting and take it home. But this was a painting that didn't ever get chosen. and I kept it for myself because I just loved it. And I turned that into a blanket. So I had a woven blanket made for the person that would be, doing the challenge. And she happened, it wasn't like, I believe it was a draw. I believe I drew people's names out because I am little Miss Fairness. I don't like anybody to lose. I like that. But anyways, yeah, that's how come she has a
I love it. How congratulations, Raina. What a contest to have your name drawn for. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we are, Louise. Louise, so what I heard for you is be still and know. And this is, there's a situation, I see you in a situation and you're at the, you can, there's a fork. You can go right or left. As I said that, I did the wrong thing. I went right and I did left. Anyway, you can go left or right and you can stay still. And the thing, you keep going like 2 steps towards the left and then back and then a little towards the right and then back and forth, and you're just being called to just be still and to really get clarity about which is in your highest good. And the thing that I want to say is get out of the head and get into the heart, because your heart knows what it wants, your heart knows what to do, and you are not trusting it. Okay. So, all right. And this is the card that I pulled. Ooh, I love it. And it's
Mm.
all about blue, right? Um, Blue and then this like silvery gray, which is so pretty. And so I think the gray is calling you to get to the gray area, get to the in between the left and the right path, come to that middle and just be there and be still. And then you can't know without being fully connected to your fifth energy center. Communication is key. That's the only way we know what's for us and what's not for us, and that's part of it. It's like it's one thing to know what's for us, but you really want to know what's not for you as well. So I hope that helps, Louise. Thank you.
Okay, so that card, Michelle, do you still have it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so interesting because the other card came up. That's the other card. That's the two cards that talked about the deck. So the first card is about that the language of universal love becomes your mother tongue through using this deck, because it changes your relationship and the frequency, the vibration of language for you personally. It doesn't change it for the outside world, but it does for you, the user. So that was that card. But this card is called My Reflection Reveals My Perfection. So
Wow.
the biggest message in this whole deck is that for each one of us, just going to the mirror and looking at yourself, there is the biggest place for you to go, because in your reflection, your perfection is revealed. If you look deep enough into your eyes, the divine will be looking back at you. You will know it to be true. So it's interesting that that card came up. And because the card that I pulled for Louise is called Dreaming the Dreams of the Divine.
Wow.
And there's 4 words on the line. 4. In a little 16 space line, there's 4 words. The words are you, yes, yoke, and yet. So here's what I'm going to say. This is speaking to you. First of all, dreaming the dreams of the divine. If you've been thinking you don't have the right for some reason to be dreaming the dreams up that you dream, this card is saying, yes, you do. Go to the mirror, reveal yourself to yourself, see your perfection, because it exists. And you're questioning whether you have the right to be dreaming the dreams of the divine, or that you're up to the task of the dreaming the dreams of the divine. That's the yoke that you need to drop away. That's the yoke that makes it heavy. That's the yoke that almost makes you like the child in the car going, are we there yet? it doesn't have to be hard. The If you go to the mirror every day, okay, so they're saying to me, if you go to the mirror even for 7 days in a row and say to yourself, my reflection reveals my perfection, then the yoke that keeps you asking the question, are we there yet, will be dissipated. And then you can say yes to you and to the dreams that the divine is giving you to
Hi, my
lay
love.
out
Hi.
in the real world, from the divine dreams to the real world. Anyways,
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I forgot to get the word for Louise on the card, and the word that jumped out to me was rules. So I'm going to say that that goes right along with what Lisa was saying about not being hard, right? Like, where are you holding to a rule that life has to be hard, or to make any progress, it has to be harder? What rules just are not serving you anymore? We all have them. Just look at it, play with it, have fun. And oh my goodness, you guys, we did it. That was so much fun.
woo-hoo!
And thank you for everybody that hung out.
That was like 10 people.
Was
10
it?
people. 10 people got 2 card readings. I think that's pretty good because we did start with like a 20-minute talk. So I think we've done really well. That's
We
like
did great.
10 in just over an hour.
Yep,
And
we did great.
I hope that the messages, um, will serve everybody, because there's for 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 Michelle and me, one of the reasons I think that we came together is because we are about bringing what has benefited us to other people. When we find something beneficial and we've worked with it, a physician cure thyself is a good way to go. And so, yes,
Yeah.
a lot of people promote things that they don't really use, but we're not those girls. We're promoting things that we do use, and we're promoting the fact that indeed, um, none of us, in all of our emotional outbursts and all of our feeling like we're not getting something right, I would like to offer that the truth is, for thousands of years, we have been spellbound by an alphabet and by words, and by how those words have been used on us as a large thing. And then, since the invention of television, things have been amped up. So the overarching spell for us to not feel good about ourselves, to speak ill to one another, to use language as weapons, and to not see ourselves as the perfection that we really are, the divine perfections that we really are. If we all remember how a baby gets born, we all remember the divineness of it all. But the spell is very spellish. And it's very easy for us all to come under this idea that we don't measure up. But you can dissipate that by going to the mirror and looking in it and saying to yourself, my reflection reveals my perfection. You can. And it's easy. They have made it so hard for us to break the spell. It's like, the Matrix and all these movies that are like this, they are showing us something. They are. And your power lies in you. The spell tells you the power is out there. Your power lies in you. All these things, like Michelle telling us to get down and work on the fascia because we're holding it in, because the spell starts to affect your body. And as you work on your body, your mind, your soul, as you work on all of it, you free yourself from the spell. And as you free yourself from the spell, well, all kinds of magic can happen. It really can. And
All kinds of magic.
all
Oh,
all kinds, every kind of good magic can happen when we do accept those two things. That language is meant to be used between us as a mode of upliftment and empowerment. and that we are to view ourselves as we are, perfect. And here's the thing, if you can look at somebody else you like and see them as good, when you do that, you need to say, and that is me, because these are ways to train yourself to see yourself in the highest truth, which is we are perfect. And language is a gift that we have that we can actually use for the betterment of people or for the detriment. And we're living in a world where language is used to deter us from our highest aim. So, yeah.
Amen.
You didn't do anything to yourself. It was all done to you. And your only place of power now is to know whatever was done to me, I can undo. I have the power to do that. We all have that
Amen.
power. Amen.
Thank you for that very crucial, very essential reminder, Lisa. And with that, thank you all for being here.
Thank
I
you.
love you. I appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you guys. So it would just be Lisa and I sitting here talking to each other. Um, let's see what Louise said. I've been intentionally avoiding the mirror lately, been a bit reclusive. Thank you so much. This really hit home. I love that. Yes. What was that? My reflection reveals my perfection.
Mhm.
Let's all have some mirror time this week. What can it hurt?
What
Might
can
be
it hurt?
uncomfortable, but it'll bring great rewards. And
Yeah,
Denise said,
sometimes when you say it, sometimes when you get there and you say it and you're really looking in your eyes, you feel shy. That's how I feel. I feel shy. And
exactly.
I go, it's so amazing.
Yep.
It's so amazing. But really, the more I do it, I do see it. And I'm like everybody else. I've had a lot of things go on where the spell has told me that I'm just, not up to snuff. And
Yeah.
I go to the mirror because I know I am the stuff. I'm not the snuff. I'm the stuff.
Yay. I'm not the snuff. I am the stuff. I love that. And
Okay.
Denise says, great show today, ladies. Have a wonderful week. And I want to remind everybody that if you guys, I forgot to say this, but if anybody watching wants a reminder, if you want me to send you a specific reminder to your inbox that Lisa and I are going to be live so that you don't miss any of these incredible times that we do these card pulls, message me, email me, get me some type of a notice and you'll be on my list. I have a working list of people that I notify every time we're going to be live so that they don't miss. So if you want that, let us know. And thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have a beautiful week. Remember to
Slow down.
slow down and be present. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michelle. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Thanks for
Lisa.
letting us give you messages. We appreciate you.